Survivalism. Are you a prepper or a survivalist? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. In this video, we're going to talk about survivalism. We're going to talk about being a survivalist or being a prepper. Are you one of the two? What are some of the differences? And talk about them a little bit. I know the differences aren't really that important, but the main gist of it is to talk about prepping, survivalism, those kind of things. It's a very important topic right now. Before I get into the video, growing the community is very important. So please subscribe, ring the notification bell for all, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below. I'm doing a lot better about keeping up on your comments. I'm doing my best, so stick with me. I'd like to start off with the definition of survivalism, according to our favorite, Wikipedia. What does Wikipedia say about survivalism? It's actually not that bad. Survivalism is a social movement of individuals or groups called survivalists or preppers. True. Who proactively prepare for emergencies. Yep, such as natural disasters, as well as other disasters causing disruption to social order, that is, civil disorder, caused by political or economic crisis. Preparations may anticipate short-term scenarios or long-term on scales ranging from personal adversity to local disruption of services to international or global catastrophe. There's no bright line dividing general emergency preparedness from prepping in the form of survivalism, but a qualitative distinction is often recognized whereby preppers, survivalists, prepare especially extensively because they have higher estimations of the risk of catastrophes happening. Kind of hard to understand what they're trying to say there, but nonetheless, prepping can be as limited as prepping for a personal emergency, which I talk about, personal SHTF. They talk about things like that. So, or it can be as extensive as a personal identity or collective identity with a devoted lifestyle. That's what I like. The sustainability, the long-term sustainability of preparedness. And it goes on to say, survivalism's emphases are on self-reliance. Yes, very good to be self-reliant, especially in these times. Stockpiling supplies and gaining survival knowledge and skills. Yeah, big time. The stockpiling of supplies is itself a wide spectrum, from survival kits, ready bags, bug-out bags that anyone should have, to entire bunkers in extreme cases. Survivalists often acquire first aid and emergency medical paramedic training, self-defense training, and self-sufficiency training. Yeah, I hope so. I hope you guys are doing that. And they often build structures such as survival retreats or underground shelters that may help them survive a catastrophic failure of society. So that's what Wikipedia says about survivalism. Before we get too deep into the video, I would like to cover what I think of, how I feel the differences are and what they are between preppers and survivalists. And this is just my opinion. This is kind of how I see things. So how do I see things? Well, let me talk about the term prepper first. A prepper is somebody that stockpiles food, water, medical supplies like they talked about. Maybe has tribe preparedness groups, mutual assistance groups, maybe do some tactical training, stuff like that. It's a broad term. It's kind of along the lines of a way our ancestors used to have, food in the pantry or in the root cellar or in the basement, stuff like that. But the way I look at it is a prepper could be somebody that really doesn't get out much. You can sit at home, order stuff and have it delivered, and you could call yourself a prepper. And you're way better off, even those people are way better off than the vast majority of society. Because at least they have food, water, and stuff like that. Survival supplies. Then let's get into survivalist. Survivalist to me takes on more of an active term. Isn't somebody that just sits inside ordering stuff. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to do that also. But a survivalist to me is more somebody that gets out in this kind of stuff and works on bushcraft, wilderness survival, the skills like tracking and hunting, fishing, trapping, snaring, all those kind of things, the active things that are out in nature. That's kind of what survivalist means to me. As well as survivalist kind of has more of a militant terminology to me, spin on it, whereas those people may be more active in tactical training, getting out there and actually using the skills and learning skills out in the stuff. So whether you feel that you fit better into the category of prepper or survivalist really doesn't matter. The point is being prepared for tough times, like Wikipedia talks about. Personal events, small events, localized events, national events, worldwide events. We see stuff happening on a continual basis, and I hope that you guys desire to fit into one of those two categories. Really, I like the idea of being, I need to throw homesteader in there also, sorry. Homesteaders, I gotta throw in there because self-reliance is so important. Being able to grow your own food, raise your own animals, do all these things, but also do these things. You need to be able to stockpile things, preps, but you also need to be prepared to produce your own. Being a producer is important, not just a consumer over here. Because if you're just a consumer, if you just have stockpiles of food and no way to replenish that food, then what happens is you start, SHGF happens, whatever it is, you start opening up that first bucket, that first bag, that first box, that first container, whatever it is. And unfortunately, you just now started the stopwatch on your life. If you don't have the skills to go hunting, trapping, fishing, snaring, any of those things, as well as gardening and raising your own animals, then your life has a finite or predetermined end. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't want a finite set of time for my life. I would like to live indefinitely. You can stockpile a lot of food, maybe, depending on your budgetary constraints, your storage capabilities, etc. But to be truly ready, truly prepared, whether you are a survivalist or a prepper or a homesteader, I like those three things. I really like the term, and there's a YouTube channel out there, prepsteader, right? A prepper homesteader. That's really important. I like the ability of being able to grow my own fruits and vegetables. Very important to me. And yes, raising animals is a weakness. We don't have animals right now. We need to take a round turn on that. I know that's an actionable item that we need to take action on. And we may be doing that soon. But another thing is very important is tribe. Because we can't do this alone. That's one where I just mentioned, one idea, one topic, one area that I just mentioned, meaning the raising of animals, that is a weakness. But because I have a good tribe, several of them, I have lots of access to people that raise a lot of animals. Anything from cows, chickens, turkeys, pheasants, ducks, pigs, sheep, and several others. Goats, I'm sorry. Yeah, so tribe is very important. And as a prepper, survivalist, whatever term you want to use, the ability, I think that the core, a lot of it comes down to the core idea that I like promoting and I feel is very important to me and my family is the self-reliance aspect of it. Being able to MacGyver things up. I can build almost anything. Do I have any contractor experience? Meaning like hammer type contractor? No, I don't. I'm not a builder. I'm not a construction guy. Nothing. I'm just a guy with a brain that knows how to figure things out. That's an important part of whether you're a survivalist or a prepper, is being able to use this, your brain, most powerful tool in preparedness. Because if you can figure things out, you'll be much better off. You can figure out how to make a greenhouse, from stuff you find on the side of the road or in the woods? Yeah. And then buy some, build the frame out of that kind of stuff, throw some sheet plastic over it, buy some hinges, make a little door. Yeah, right? That kind of stuff. Kind of going back to our favorite show, Little House on the Prairie, how back in those days, people used to build their own houses from scratch. I wish we didn't have building codes, because I would totally do that. I would love to be able to do that. But I can for small structures. They're not living in, of course. Sheds, stuff like that. So having the ability to building raised beds, for example, I have some made out of lumber that I bought. A lot that I had lumber and just boards and logs and different things I got from tribe members, from people that are moving out of our church, etc. Or just stuff that the people we bought the house from had laying around behind the shed. Making do is a vital prepper/survivalist skill. Figuring things out, using your brain. Because no matter what happens, if you don't have the ability to process through information in a timely and efficient manner, you're not going to do very well in SHTF. A lot of times I tend to think about things and look at things from the tactical side of things due to my military experience. And yeah, there's trolls on here that troll me all the time. I don't care. I was in the military for 20 years, active duty, then did contract work afterwards. Just, yeah, I have some experience in those areas. So, I do like that. It's my favorite area. A lot of people talk about, like, how do they get into prepping? Actually, if you want to leave that in the comment section below, it'll show me that you're actually still here at this point in the video, watching the videos and actually supporting the channel, which is awesome. But leave in the comment section below, what got you into prepping? Was it maybe you were the homesteader? Maybe you were into hunting. Maybe you were into canning and knitting and all those kind of things. Or maybe it was 9/11. Maybe it was Y2K. Maybe it was whatever. I personally got into prepping around Y2K. Didn't feel and didn't think that anything was going to happen with the computers necessarily. I just felt that people were going to behave badly. And so I felt that it might be advantageous to have a little bit of extra supplies in case we couldn't get to the store or something like that. But primarily I got into prepping through the tactical side of things. Having my tactical gear squared away, my defensive tools squared away, my skills, my knowledge, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how I got into prepping. So whether you identify as a prepper, a homesteader, or a survivalist, really doesn't matter. What matters is that you are taking preparedness seriously. You're looking at protecting, providing for, and doing everything you can to help your family, people you care about, people around you, survive. That's what's important. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.